Yo, Citrine got a deluxe skin and a new augment mod, and both are really sick. So I figured I would talk about Citrine today and yap about her for a little bit. And yeah, so my basic thoughts on Citrine is that she's really sick. She's really awesome. I think she's one of the best like support warframes in the game. She gives you unreal healing with her passive in her one. Um, she gives you insane DR with her 2 for the squad as well. It's for everyone in affinity range, so you don't have to worry about your teammates applying it to themselves like you do with wisp motes and stuff like that. Her 3 gives insane status chance and it applies every status in the game, so that's also insane. And then her 4 is really nice for like tanky enemies. The crystals go on to enemies, and you'll crit them, get big old red crits on enemies with your 4, and it's really busted on things like the acolytes. Citrine's just a really good Warframe. I have zero complaints. Her kit's amazing. I don't subsume anything out, even though you can. Her 1's not a must have, but it is what it is. Same with her 4. Depends on the build you go. But I like her base kit. I like everything as is. And I have a pretty simple build, so I'll talk about her gameplay loop and how I like to play Citrine when I get into missions and stuff like that. So here we go. So our passive, if you see on the bottom right there, it's the HP per second. That builds up as you pick up HP orbs, which your 1 is very good at spawning. And I believe it caps at 25. So it's a pretty strong heal at max cap if you're going to be doing like a survival mission or a defense mission or excavation or anything where you're going to be in there for a while. Her passive, very strong healing, very good. Double thumbs up from me. Her 1, she throws rocks at people. And Naros has pocket sand. Citrine has pocket rocks. And these rocks afflict guys with like a little bit of slash ticks. And if you kill guys while they have rocks embedded in them, they'll drop HP and energy orbs. And it's very good. She works great with things like purple shards and great with things like equilibrium. So very strong effect. It doesn't cost a lot of energy. You can just kind of spam this thing when you get in the mission and get your energy bar topped up. Get your passive bar a little bit stacked. You're not going to like insta stack your passive, so it's nothing insane. But it is a very good ability, and it's very simple. You hit 1, you throw rocks, guys get affected by those rocks, you kill those guys, you get a bunch of resources. It's pretty simple. And then her 2 is her little shell here. This gives you DR, and you can stack enough strength to get this to 90% instantly as soon as you pop it. But the shell, the more kills you get, the higher the DR with a cap of 90. So it's a very good, it's damage reduction. She has a lot of HP. I know I have Arcane Blessing on, but she has a little HP base. She has a decent amount of armor. She's pretty strong. She's a pretty tanky Warframe. She makes the entire squad tanky. I believe it applies to pets. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it's a very strong ability. It's awesome. I love it. And it looks cool. Especially with this new deluxe skin. We got these little roses around you. It's pretty neat. Normally you just get some rocks, but the roses, pretty cool. IMO. So we throw rocks. We have our shell for DR. I need to go pick up energy so I can talk about the third ability here. Boom. This is the third ability, and it's also a flower, rose type beat with our deluxe skin. Anyways, the third ability here, we get this big rainbow prismatic area, and any enemy in here, when we damage them, or an ally damages them, or a pet damages them, it's going to send out a beam that's just the prismatic beam of status. Think of every status in the game possibly, except for IPS. I don't think it does IPS. It's going to proc on this guy and just annihilate them with status effects. And prime guys, and if you look in the top right, it gives us a bunch of status chance, 220%. Obviously that scales with strength, so double thumbs up again. Just a really good kit. Gives your weapons tons of status. Normally we're building for like viral heat on things, so we're going to be getting a tons of heat procs. If your weapon has slash, tons of slash procs, so forth and so forth. You're running an influence melee build. You're going to be proccing your electric like crazy to keep your melee influence up and active 24/7. It's a very good, just a buffing ability. It'll spread cold procs too, so enemies will be slowed. Um, it's really good. It's really solid. And with her augment now, we get a bunch of bonus duration on it, and we can attach it to our dogs and cats and infested foxes and lions. So it's pretty strong, especially when you know your dog's running around with it and taking it with you around the map. So normally it's pretty stationary, but get a dog or a cat, you can attach it to them with the augment, and it's pretty cracked. And for our last ability, I want to despawn that real quick, so we'll go into the arsenal. Um, Give me just one frozen guy. Heavy gunner. Confirm. Just that guy. Wait. Clear. Just you. Confirm. There we go. Very simple ability. You send out crystals. You will affect a bunch of guys with rocks. And these rocks give you a bunch of flat crit chance. There you go. Normally, this weapon does not red crit. With those rocks in them, it does. And she does have an augment mod where you can spread these rocks, and it's pretty strong. It's a really fun build. It's not how I like to play Citrine. I kind of like to just mass destruction with statuses all over the place and just kind of fire into the crowd with my status rock. So it is a viable playstyle. It is a viable build. Honestly, you might be able to squeeze that augment like on my build if you take off a mod. So there is that always, but yeah, good ability. And it works on acolytes. So you know, if you're normally a person who struggles killing acolytes, you can use your 4 and get giant juicy red crits on acolytes and nuke them pretty quick. But those are Citrine's 4 abilities and passive. Killer health regen, throw rocks, spawn resources, crazy DR, crazy status application in CC and just lock down a zone with your 3, and crazy damage buff on your 4. Good all-round kit. As for her abilities here, abilities, just talked about them, upgrade screen, my mods, nothing crazy. I do have 2 normal red shards on for strength. Those were from a previous build, and all it's giving us is 20% duration, 20% strength here. They are not necessary at all. The only shard that I think is necessary, and I went overkill because I play a lot of Citrine, just do 1 purple shard for equilibrium, just 1. Very important. You do not need 3. I just went super overkill on Citrine here. You only need 1. I've played her with 1, and I was like, I really like this character. I'm going to put even more on. I do have 25% strength here. Normally, we'd be at 195, so it's nothing crazy to worry about. Even in the shard situation, I'd actually probably put more green shards on her. I'd put the armor strip shards, double green, 1 purple, the shard that gives you more damage on enemies afflicted with toxin, and I believe there's one that works with corrosive as well. So yeah, I would actually go all green and some purple, and then maybe like a casting speed shard. I think that would definitely be the way for Archon shards, but this is my build. Speaking of Archons, we have all the Archon mods because she applies them all. Archon Vitality, double heat procs with our 3, Archon Continuity, corrosive procs with our toxin procs on our 3, Archon Stretch, procking electric on our 3. It is very, very strong to get all 3 of these mods in. I think it is 100% worth it. I love this Warframe. She's very strong. Her prime probably comes out in what, 6 months? We're gonna get Caliban most likely next, and then it's gonna be back to no, 9 months actually, right? Anyways, it's a whole different thing. Archon mods very good on Citrine. You can run the normal ones. You won't be missing out on much. You probably would save a forma or 2 in mod capacity running the normal mods here instead of or the primed versions, but it is what it is. You could drop Archon Vitality, move Adaption over here, and put her other augment, like I said, on if you don't want to go this route. So I could definitely see that. That is 100% an option. Everything else here, though, Adaption, I think it's important to stack this with her base super high DR. It feels super good. I don't think I'm really ever dying as Citrine ever in like any content. So this is a really, really strong combo with her too. I love it. I know some people like to like free up a mod slot and then go Arcane Guardian and Arcane Grace. That is also an option, but I like the stacking Arcanes here for strength and more HP. I think it feels awesome. As for everything else, we have Transient Fortitude for some more strength, Intensify for more strength, and I liked Primed Flow because we're kind of printing resources here, and we're kind of always going to be full on energy, so I like having those extra resources. I like being able to spam my 3 and move it around, um, especially if I don't attach it to my dog. You can kind of aim away from your pet or put it on your pet with the Prismatic Companion Augment, so that is cool. And look at that. We get the bonus 50% gem duration. So that is awesome. We don't need to slot in like Augur Message or anything like that. Just a very, very simple build. It is Forma heavy at 4 Forma and my Umbra Forma on here, but I think it's 100% worth it for Citrine. Or, you can probably wait till the end of the year until Citrine Prime comes out. Um, and that could be your deal. But I think it's worth it. I love everything here. Like I said, you could drop Archon Vitality, move the adaptation over, and then slot in the recrystallize augment, and that would be super viable. IMO, I think adaptation has to stay and Vitality could go, and you could slot in the second augment there and have a hoot of a time with like a gun build. But I like playing her like this. I prefer going with status mayhem on her 3 and whatnot. So thumbs up from I. As for that, one very important thing to note when it comes to your loadout here, and running this crystal augment, run a dog or a cat, but run one that hits a bunch of enemies as it possibly can. So like that the Robo Hounds here, and if you run the Robo Hound with, where's it at? Synergized Prospectus, it fires out this electric ball that bounces around and hits a bunch of enemies. That's really good. You just want to hit as many enemies as possible. As for other choices there, where is he at? Sunika Kubro. If we go into their upgrade screen, I don't have mine modded at all. Savagery, the Kubro rushes, and it'll knock a bunch of enemies down. And very important thing there, we're hitting a bunch of enemies at once, and we're proccing the crystal on a bunch of enemies, so that feels awesome. Other options there. What do we got? Oh, this is the third one I was thinking of. The Helmand Hound, Helmand's Charger. Where is his special perk at? Trample. Literally in the name, he rushes forward and he tramples a bunch of enemies. So you get a bunch of procs on your crystal while it's attached to your pet, and then you can run this. So those are just some ideas for you. Obviously, you can run whatever you want. The Panzer could be good with viral quills. It shoots quills out and hits everyone. That is also a good option. I'm going to run my Hound here because, he's formed up. He puts in a lot of work. Hound, very strong. I'll flash my build real quick. This is what we got going on the Hound. Most important piece, Synergize Prospectus. This is what's proccing and just bouncing around and hitting all the enemies and damaging them. That's our most important mod there. And my weapon, there's nothing crazy here. I believe it's just one Forma with a bunch of statuses on it. Nothing insane here to write home about. Very, very simple build. So that's my Hound, and what I'll be running to show off the augment. As for your weapons in your loadout, just use whatever's strong. You could use crit heavy weapons if you wanted to capitalize on her 4, or you could use high fire rate, low crit, high status weapons to capitalize on her 3. Or you could run hybrid weapons and capitalize on both. So it is really up to you. Just use your strongest weaponry on Citrine. There are some like cool builds you can get with like the crazy high status chance you get on her. So that is fun. Maybe you do some like crazy super high status chance primary crux build with like the Ignis Wraith or any of the other beam weapons with primary crux. Those builds are very strong. I just kind of chucked on whatever here. I do have her signature weapon here, the Chlorophyll. So I will be using this heavy attack scythe and having a good time with that one. But honestly, just run whatever. Run your best gear. Primary, secondary, melee weapon. Whatever is your strongest weapon, run on Citrine. You'll have a good time because her kit is mainly keeping you alive and then buffing your weapons a little bit. So that's just my suggestion. Run what is strong to you and go about your day. And dog, cat, whatever. Run something you can attach your crystal to. Sadly, you can't put it on the sentinels. That would be crazy. Imagine if you could like attach it to a sentinel and then have like duplex bond on and it runs with duplicated flowers. That would be nuts. But that's Citrine. That's her abilities. That's kind of how she plays. That's my build for her. And time to hop into a survival mission and get her done. So I'll see you there. All right, we're here in the Koopa Fortress. I popped my 2. I'm going to pop my 1 and get those rocks going so I can get my energy economy back up. Throw some more rocks. And then, come here, dog. You can do the cool augment thing. Come here. Oh, he got it. All right. And he will run around with that. Oh, he just got knocked down. I'll switch to the chlorophyll since it's like her signature weapon. Go crazy with this thing. And our dog's going crazy with the crystal around town. You can see the little blue ability numbers going off every now and then. I do have pet damage numbers turned off. I do think those get annoying, in my opinion. I feel like they get in the way a lot of times. Like, do you really care about the numbers your pet's doing? Like, let's be honest. I don't. So I turn them off. But yeah, Citrine's really strong. And she's really fun. I love playing her. Especially in like long survivals, fishers, and stuff like that. Very, very simple warframe. And I like her supporting style because she's just kind of like, stay close to me and you will get buffs no matter what. With Wisp, you know, funny enough, sometimes people just don't pick up your motes. Oh my goodness. I mean, when people just don't pick up my Wisp motes, I'm like, I can understand it sometimes. Some people don't like the fire rate and the extra movement speed because it can be annoying. But man, oh man, some people just, they're like allergic to the motes sometimes. But Citrine's damage reduction, as long as you're in affinity range, it is on. And we need to reapply the crystal. There we go. Little rose on your head. Enjoy that, buddy. But yeah, we're having no issue here. I know I'm using a hound, and like the hound kind of does a lot of work. If you know ball, you know the hound's crazy. But that's kind of like the point of this augment. It's kind of like a Beastmaster Citrine, and run around with her pet and have it go to town. So I don't know. I know there's definitely probably like how much is it this is the pet and how much is it Citrine, but even if I was using like an incarnate weapon and standing next to my crystal while it was stationary, I'd still be putting up crazy numbers. So I kind of wish we got the more open spawn on the Koopa Fortress, but this is also fine. We'll make do. Gonna have to reapply my crystal soon to my doggy. Come here, dog. Take that. There you go. I love the chlorophyll. Talked about it a while ago. It's just a very good weapon. And with its, like, the way its crit stats are, it actually works really well with duplicate. And because it's primary heat, you can't build for just raw electric like you would normally do with, like, a heavy attack build. You'd have to build for, like, viral electric or something silly. So I went for, like, raw heat and a duplicate build, and it's actually really good. I'm really happy with it. And it also gives me a reason to use melee duplicate. It's very strong. And we don't even orange crit that much, so we're getting the full use of melee duplicate with our yellow crits and the double hits. Very fun. I really like it. Very rare that something goes, oh, we can use duplicate here. Also, flower be upon thee, dog. Ooh, ooh. Here comes the acolyte. I wonder, I don't know if the chlorophyll projectile procs on Citrine's crystal. It'd be silly if it didn't, because it's like her signature weapon. You think they would have thought about that, but where are you? Put crystal on your head. It does. It does. Okay, there you go. More Citrine combos. You can use her signature heavy scythe and use it with her crystallize. You know, that's pretty nice. I was hoping, I don't know, it's one of those weird wave projectiles, so you never know. But it's nice to see that it does work. Pop my DR. I do like the flowers on the skin that hover around you. It's nice to keep on for the aesthetic. What are we even at? Oh, holy smokes. Oh no! Dog went down. See, dog doesn't do it all. Honestly, should just be able to stand here and eat the damage while rezzing him. Yeah, we're fine. Ooh, ooh. Oh, he picked it up. I didn't know that. Nice. That's cool. He picked it up off the ground, kind of like how... Dude, this augment just turns Citrine into, like, a different version of Octavia. Your flower's the mallet, and your pet's the roller. Oh my gosh. Wait, I just had an epiphany. That's literally what it is. Very chill time. Kind of spamming heavy attacks. You might hear me clicking my mouse wheel. Sorry about that. But no, okay, this is awesome. I'm having a good time. I'm glad this augment is out. I might take off Archon Vitality and put her other augment on, so I can use her for. Now that I know it works with the Chlorophyll like that. But repop this. Put the flower down. Just kind of stand here. That is Citrine. Her new augment's crazy. It lets your pet do a lot of work. My recommendations: Panzer, a Hound, the Helmand Hound as well, the Sunika Kubro. Those are all my options. You just want your Hound. You want your pet hitting as many enemies as possible. So it's proccing the flower all around her as much as possible. Her deluxe skin's awesome. I love the flowers. I'm not a big fan of the helmet. I don't like the asymmetrical face. I'll probably put her prime helmet on, the deluxe skin, when that comes out, and I got a Kuba Jester humping my face right now. But that's it from me. See you later.